What's up, guys? Welcome back to a new video. My name is Gabriel Roland. Again, welcome to Roland Nation Gang. So today we're going to talk about a sensitive topic that is going to trigger so many people. But at the end of the day, this is what I do. I'm a real content creator. I talk about uncomfortable topics, things that people are afraid to talk about. You guys know how I feel about single mothers. You guys definitely know how I feel about single mothers. Although I have some exceptions for some single mothers, but it has to do with this video. Single mother, the topic is the harsh truths and harsh realities that comes from men that are raised by single mothers. Harsh truths about guys raised by single mothers. Because it's even in the statistics that children fare better under single father household or under a two-parent household than a single mother household. The statistics show that children fare very, very badly under a single mother household. So these are the harsh realities and harsh truths about guys that are raised by single mothers, the mommy's boys. Number one, they have a people-pleasing tendency. They chase external validation. They don't feel complete. They are constantly chasing for approval. They want to please everyone. And the thing is, as a human being, you can't please everyone. Not everyone is going to like you. There are people that are going to say negative things about you. And I actually learned a lot about it because when I was in my secondary school and I was the head boy, there was a point that I cared about everyone liking me. But sooner or later, I remember my girlfriend at the time, she told me that, do you think everyone is going to like you? That's not possible. That people are not going to like you and you just have to accept that. But guys that are raised from single mothers, they have this sort of, they are constantly chasing approval from other people. They love the validation, and that is actually a feminine behavior because most of the time it's women that chase external validation. So, but because it's a guy raised by a single mother, the single mother is going to obviously pass on her traits to the guy. So the guy is always going to inherit that behavior of constantly chasing attention and approval from other people in order to make himself feel good, in order to make himself look good, which is actually a bad characteristic because even a successful guy knows that not everyone is going to like you. The moment you reach the top of the mountain, you are going to have enemies, you are going to have haters. And that's what most people don't understand, that when you reach a certain level of success, haters are going to be breathing down your neck like parasites. You're going to have lots of enemies. That is just the reality. Even God that we worship, not everyone respects God, not everyone acknowledges God. And He's the creator of everything, the creator of the earth, the creator of our lives, the creator of the entire universe. And not everyone acknowledges Him. Not everyone approves of Him. That's why there are atheists, there are people that don't believe in God. So what are we talking about? So if God doesn't please everyone, I don't understand why guys raised from single mother households try to please everyone. They have a people pleasing tendency. The next thing is they also have simping tendency. Because of the fact that they were raised by single mothers, all their lives have been revolved around women. And since all his life he has been revolved around women, he always tries his hardest to please women. He overinvests, he overgives, he overvalidates, and in the process he loses himself, he loses his self-respect as well. Because the thing is, when you are being raised by a single mother, It's just that she's the only woman in your life, and how she raised you, you're going to be compelled sooner or later to give everything to a woman. And here's the thing, when you give everything to a woman, you are definitely going to pay the price if it's a bad person. Because at the end of the day, they just have this idea that every woman deserves to be spoiled, every woman deserves princess treatment, which is not true. Not every woman deserves princess treatment, not every woman deserves to be spoiled. Not at all. You don't even deserve anything, you have to earn it. So another issue that I have with guys, they always have this simping tendency. They want to over invest, over validate a woman, give a woman all that time, energy, and resources. Because guess what? They were raised by a single mom. So it's probably what the single mom taught them to do. Spoil the woman. But it's not worth it sometimes, you know. It's not worth it. But what can I say? Like, that is how they were raised. You can't change that. And it's actually a very big shame that you can't change that. It's actually very pitiful, shameful. Sometimes it's not their fault though, it's that I blame their circumstances. The next one, they are very overly emotional. Like obviously we tend to say that women are emotional, but men raised by single mothers are just as emotional as women. They have this outbursts, they start drama, and they are very, very sensitive to criticism. For some reason, whenever you constructively criticize a guy raised by a single mother, they always have this issue that like as if it's a personal attack. Like they see everything like if you try to correct them or you try to make them better, you try to tell them that okay, you are doing this wrong, they always feel like it's a personal attack, and I don't understand why. And that worries me because the thing is that there's constructive criticism, there's also good criticism that can actually better you. But if you take every criticism you receive as if it's a personal attack, you're never going to grow. And that is the issue these guys have as well. They're not okay with taking criticism from people. They don't take criticism well. They're very overly sensitive to criticism. And I don't understand why. Don't understand why. The next one, they have an entitlement mindset. Obviously, they are definitely going to do, because most women have an entitlement mindset. And if you are being raised by a single mother, obviously you're going to have an entitlement mindset as well. You think the world owes you something. You think you deserve everything without actually earning it. You think because you are a mommy's boy, you deserve all the love, the admiration, the attention, and you think that you don't have to earn shit. Newsflash, in order for you to receive the good things in life, you have to earn it. But these guys, they feel like because they exist, they deserve everything, they deserve the love, the attention, the gifts, affection, everything. But that's not how the world works, right? For you to receive the good things in life, you have to work for it. But when someone is an entitlement mindset, he feels or she feels like they don't have to work for it. I don't understand why. They feel like they deserve everything. And this is what happens. A man being raised by a single mother, the single mother has told him lies, has told him that he deserves the world, he deserves everything regardless of his bad behavior. Like she has programmed his mind to believe that he deserves everything in life regardless of his behavior. And the thing about entitlement is when you constantly spoil someone is, let me give an analogy, right? A man that is being raised in a rich household, was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and all his life he has been bought the finest things in life. He has been taken around the world, he has been given expensive gifts. When you constantly give something to someone, right, without any needs, sooner or later he's not going to respect it, and because he's not going to respect it, he's going to feel entitled to it. because he has been getting it all the time. And because I've been getting all the time, he feels like that's what he deserves because he didn't have to earn it. That's what comes with an entitlement mindset. Entitlement mindset is like a poison. It deceives you. Because you are receiving something from someone, you feel like you deserve it. If somebody is probably somebody is sending you 100K a month, you feel like just because he's sending you 100K per month, you think you deserve. No, you don't deserve it. The person is just giving it to you because you are a good person, because he's a good person and he's a good heart and he's very generous. He's not giving it to you because he deserves it. He's giving it because he's a generous person. But because you are collecting it without earning it, you feel like you deserve it. No, you don't deserve shit. The person is only giving you 100K per month because he's a generous person, right? Some people even feel entitled to the extent that if their father is rich, they feel like they're entitled to his money. No, you're not entitled to your father's money. He worked for it. He is going to decide what to do with his money. That's what happens in an entitlement mindset, because you feel like the world revolves around you. That you deserve all the good things in life without having to work for it or without having to earn it. The next one, they have a very big victim mentality. It is everyone's fault except their own. They blame everybody. They blame fathers, they blame mothers, they blame the society, they blame the community, they blame everyone in the world except themselves. They point a finger at every single person around them, but they will never point a finger at themselves. That's what happens when you have a victim mentality. It is everyone's fault except yours, which is very disgusting and sickening. That somebody will not take responsibility and accountability for their actions. It is always someone else's fault. It is everyone else's fault except yours. That's the kind of mentality that they have, a very big victim mentality, and it's very, very crazy to me. Very crazy. And it's also very disgusting. Because nobody in this life should have a victim mentality. We should all take responsibility and accountability for our actions without blaming any other person around you. You dig? You shouldn't have a victim mentality. It's just like they have an exam tomorrow. I didn't prepare for my exam. Then there's someone else that prepared for the exam, and I'm constantly disturbing the person in the exam to tell me answers, to give me his answers so I can copy him. And when the person refuses, then at the end of the exam, I end up failing the exam. And my stupid ass will be blaming the person for not giving me his answers to copy. That is the victim mentality right there. I'm supposed to take responsibility because I didn't read, I didn't prepare for my exam. But I'm blaming another person that read just because the person refused to tell me answers or allow me to copy his work. Then he is the bad person. Then is his fault that I failed? No, it is my fault that I failed because I didn't prepare. It is my fault. That's what victim mentality is. It tricks your mind to blame everyone else except yourself. And the first person, and the mindset that a masculine man should have is, if anything goes wrong, you should blame yourself first. It started from you because you are the leader, you are the authority, you are the breadwinner, you are the head. It is after God, it is you, the women and children. So whatever, if anything that happens, and if it goes wrong, you must take responsibility as a man. Don't be a bitch. It's only a bitch that blames every other person for something bad instead of actually looking at themselves in the mirror. You get what I'm saying? You dig? Like, that is just the truth. The next one, they have a weak conflict resolution. These guys don't know how to stand their ground. They crumble under pressure. That's what happens when you are being raised by a single mother and you don't have a strong father raising you. You crumble under pressure. You become scared. You're afraid of standing your ground because you're afraid to get them mad. You're scared of them. You're scared of that they might think a certain way about you. No, don't be afraid. Stand your ground and let them know that you can't tolerate this. You cannot tolerate that. They have a very weak conflict resolution, and it's very sickening. It's crazy to me that guys are afraid to say it as it is. Very crazy to me. And that irritates me. It makes me mad that you guys are afraid to put your foot on the ground and make people know that you are the boss. Huh? You're afraid of people looking at you a certain way, and I don't understand why. You crumble under pressure when the going gets tough. Why? Why are you scared? You're a man. But I don't blame these men. I mean, that's what happens when you are being raised by a single mother. What can I say about that? Although there are exceptions, there are guys that are raised by single mother and they become great men of society, they become great masculine men. But most of the time, guys that are raised by single mothers have this mindset. I'm also going to give an example. I have two pictures here below. These are two pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger's sons. Look at the one being raised by his mom, and look at the one being raised by Arnold Schwarzenegger. They are two completely different. One is fat and obese, and one is just fit and athletic, just like how his dad was. You see the difference? A very massive difference. And it's not that I'm shitting on single mothers, but this is what could happen. Just look at it very well. Look at the guy here, and look at the guy here. Which guy do you want to be? Look at the guy that is being raised by his mom. Look at the guy that is being raised by his dad. Two completely different things. Polar opposites. I'm not trying to shit on single mothers, but this is just the reality of the world. This is just how it is. Like, the truth is the truth. You can't change reality, right? You can't. And that is the crazy thing. Last but not the least, they have fear of responsibility. Most guys are afraid of being responsible. The guys raised by single mothers, they are afraid of responsibility scares them. They run away from fatherhood. They run away from war. They run away from combat. They want the title of being a man, but are not willing to what? Prove that they are a man. You understand what I'm saying? That is the title that they want. And it's crazy to me how they operate. Is that they want to receive the title that comes with being a man, but they're not willing to prove that they are actually worthy of the title. They run away from those responsibilities. Responsibility scares them. Accountability scares them. It's like an antelope. When an antelope sees a lion and the antelope is running away because he knows he's going to be killed. That kind of responsibility that they are afraid of. They're afraid of those responsibilities that masculine men take on. Right? Even to ask, and they know what's funny? When you ask most of these guys raised by single mothers, those are usually the fat and obese ones. They don't even like going to the gym. That's crazy. And when you go to the gym, one of the reasons why going to the gym is very important because it tests your mental resilience, your mental fortitude to see that you are mentally strong. Most guys raised by single mothers are not mentally strong because they run away from that responsibility. They have that fear of actually putting themselves out there and actually getting out of that comfort zone and chase for something greater than themselves. It scares them to the teeth. And I really feel bad for them because you only discover yourself when you push yourself beyond your limits. But most guys raised by single mothers are not willing to go through that. They're okay being in their comfort zone. And the problem is that when you're in your comfort zone for too long, you're never going to grow. You're always going to remain stagnant. And it's very, very crazy. What can I say? I'm glad I wasn't raised by a single mom. I'm glad I was raised by a dad and a mom. I understand responsibilities and how to become a masculine man. I'm glad I had a complete parent household, two-parent household. That's just how it should be. This is the reason why I don't really support the single motherhood because their children never feel good most of the time. Most of the guys in prisons today, they are raised by a single mother. They only the statistics, I think it was in the United States. They said 90% of men in the prison in the United States, they were raised by single mothers. You understand that? You get that? Now you understand why being raised by a single mother is not a good thing. It's not an advisable thing. You guys will take my advice seriously because I don't want you guys to be in that same position. Thank you guys for watching my video. My name is Gideon Roland. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be posting 2 new videos every single week. Stay loyal.